As servants of the Most High, we must eagerly plant the seed. Understand we do not possess the power to make the seed grow, only the Father. The key being missed is the art of playing your position. Trust Yah to do what he said he will do. He will get the increase. He gets the credit. The Most High showed me the end result before I knew the path. And when I asked, he just said, follow me.
You see, cause push is what the doctor told mommy when she was birthing me. We push it, make it through tribulations and life adversities. A pusher is a term for a person selling narcotics. A pushover is what church is now cause of lack of knowledge. Information must be factual, literal, therefore actual. Be leery of the ones taking lies and making them practical. We have to pull the skirt up on shepherds who out in line. If we don't, then there's a chance that we may all end up in frying. Gotta push to the limit, let's get it. If you a soldier, gotta love for the truth and my passion just makes me bolder. Got a crew rolling with me, we sticky, yeah, how a shot of glue. We holding us together through him, there's nothing that we can't do. It's time, ask the question, who blessing me, where my help come from? Yeah, how I do it all through his work. Yeah, how I shine, son, let's get it. If you with it, go grab it so you can have it. Time for playing games, there's up tricks off for kids, you silly rabbit.
I pledge allegiance to the Most High, who is the Alpha and Omega. And through the blood of Yahweh Shai, his son that died for me, I am reconciled to my Father in heaven. Under Yah, whose mercy is everlasting. One truth, if accepted, will bring salvation to all.
We gotta push to get truth from the people pushing us lies. Speaking of lies, you know the devil, he always come in disguise. A fancy suit, a nice physique, some money and pretty eyes, but he's a fire-breathing dragon who's hell-bent on telling lies. In Revelations, there's this beast and he giving this soul a rise. She's dressed in purple and in scarlet, yeah, that be that whole disguise. It's all it represent the church or authority telling lies. That be she riding on his roam. You better open up your eyes to water. Bahashim, yeah, I was shy. I thank you for this blessing. Time to wake up from the sleep so we can teach that whole lesson. Less I feel traditional. The most I rock with spiritual. His ruach here to help download this truth just like it's digital. We miserable and shattered. Been that way since we've been scattered. Now y'all waking up as people. Check this out. There's none equal. Most I knew what he was doing when he sent this strong delusion. Fall in love with seeking truth and he'll confirm this next conclusion. Strong illusion.
Physically powerful, morally vigorous, deeply rooted, false idea or theory, held persistently and abnormally, accepted as truth, especially by faith or authority rather than from personal knowledge, but is in fact a falsehood.
You gotta push to manage damage implanted by the satanic papal power. Yeah, that hoe giving gifts out just like she's Santa. Satan switch the N around and see just what I'm saying. And they gifts be wrapped in lies designed to spread their propagation. No more waiting, time to get up, get out. Wake up the nation, need a phrase from Yasharal or Azo Israel. Awaken, deacon sleeping, elder snoozing. The congregation be losing. Pastor serving wine from Babylon, got everybody moving. Think you know it, cause you older and done been in for a minute. Lack of knowledge while we perishing, no need to be offended. See, the truth is not rhetorical, it's timely in the season. When it's spitting proper format, there's no room left for deceiving or misleading, which result when ones insert their own opinion. Just like Adam when he tripped out and gave Hashatan dominion. We've been subject to the lie, but know this truth, it will prevail. I'ma love watching the devil and his whole crew burn in hell. Push.
Welcome. This is Real Talk 101, Devil Exposed here on a Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. You Broadcast Media, and we are in our second and final show here, man. Our broadcast. It's been a pleasure. It's been a blessing. The Most High has moved countless times. All praise and glory to his name first and foremost, and in the end of all things, may glory and honor be ascended to his name. But we thank you for joining us yet again, man. If this is your first time, we got a whole catalog of recordings that you can find them on YouTube. Just look up the title, Real Talk 101 Devil Exposed. You'll see our stuff will pop up instantly. But if this is your first time, man, say a silent prayer to yourself first and foremost, man, for the indwelling of the Ruach, because you might hear some things that'll be strange to your ears. We cover a lot of the things that I guess regular religious organizations and congregations do not cover, man. The additional books, the additional knowledge and information. And we speak about these things, including, the past week's revelations, conversations with the Most High, any correspondence we've had with him, and any enlightenment that he's brought our way. We come here and we discuss it very openly, very candidly, very honestly, as there is the only way to do it. But we usually kick off with a prayer request. We say a word of prayer. We testify. We jump right in. Today's going to be no different. My brother, how's it going, man?
Man, blessed by the best. Had a pretty interesting week. I'm sure we can get into all that. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold it up. My man Ken, specifically, I saw him yesterday when I was uptown. He actually told me the other day that his mother going through some stuff. Her kidneys is failing her. She had fluid on her lungs. I think they working on that. Also, my aunt B. She had some type of infection. They kept calling her to get a fever. I think she's in Sibley right now. But my man, I don't know my man Ken's mother name, but I just wanted to keep her in prayer. You know what I'm saying? Her and my aunt B, amongst the countless other things that could be prayed about. But as far as any testimonies or whatever, I get into that as we go on.
That's a bet.
Yeah.
That's a bet. Man, prayer requests remain kind of the same for myself. I don't have anybody I can think of immediately who's sick or, dealing with some type of ailment to where they're hospitalized. But, man, keep my parents in prayer. They, still both in age. Keep both our parents in prayer. And my loved ones who, getting up there. Also continued prayer for the ministry as we embark on yet another avenue, yet another means to, do the Most High's work, man. I like how he changes up the venue every now and then, and he changes up the vineyard. Because wherever we go, we got to cast seed, man. We got to plant seeds, for real. And the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, gives the increase, and I know he's going to continue to do the same thing. Aside from that, the general prayer requests, people wake up, people accept the truth, people prepare themselves for the massive change that is coming and not hate it, and not be content with where they are currently, because things is going to abruptly change. I got a scripture I'm going to get into regarding it. But let's talk to the Most High. It's the most important thing we could do. Lord Yahuwah, glory to your name, praise to your name. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yet again for assembling your men servant right here before you. You kept us all week. You covered us all week. Your grace and mercy and your patience with us is unbelievable. It's inconceivable, especially knowing who we are in depth. But, man, you find it to be a part of your plan and to your glory, to take the basis of men and lift them up to do your work and your will, if they will be but willing, if they be but humble. Because one thing you can't stand is a prideful man. So, Father, we come before you right now humbled in every respect, knowing what we are, knowing what we do. And yet you still allow us to do this. So we thank you first and foremost for that, and for that blood of Mashiach, which covers us even now. It's so precious and so valuable. It has so much power, we can't even conceive it. So I thank you for that. Thank you for giving us wisdom and insight and truth, able to shed the things of the past and accept the change rather than hate it, not be content with where we are. Because with you, our relationships are ever evolving, ever growing process, because you are unending. So why should our relationship with you end or be stagnant or stay the same? Shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen, Father. You know the prayer requests that we have on our hearts and minds, the ones that have been lifted up. Think about Ken's mother and O's Aunt B. I pray that you be with each and every one of those situations, is specifically according to your knowledge of them, because I know you know intricately more than we do. And then all the rest of the prayer requests, which we have not verbalized, but escape our minds even now, both in my life and in those, man. And we thank you for meeting those prayer requests. You've been merciful. You've been incredibly merciful. And I like to think that it's because you have servants who do your will, because in your word, it said, man, you did stuff just because of your servant Abraham, or just because of your servant David. And I can see you continually doing that even now, even today, and in our family. So again, we say thank you. Continue to be with my folks and O's folks, up in upper age, man. You blessed them. Blessed them supremely, Father, and we thank you for that. Continue to be with Ari. We was over that joint chilling with him yesterday. He's growing. He's getting bigger. I'm thanking you for the blessing that you have on him. He's content. You know what I'm saying? He's not raucous. He's not irritable. You know, he's pleasant. And that's a blessing within itself. So I thank you for that also. Send your holy Ruach HaKodesh down upon this desk and use this as you have so many times before, because without you, we can't do none of that. And also, Father, you know, the plans that you have for this studio, whatever it may be. If it's wickedness, get it up out of here. But if it's for goodness and for your name, I pray that it proliferate. And whatever your command will be, we will definitely obey it. And I pray the same happens for this studio and all those involved. Bless the engineers in the back, Marcus especially, be with Angela. She may be en route, may not, and all those who support our ministry. And continue to lead us and guide us with your Ruach as we branch off and go into a whole nother direction coming forward. And we're going to give you the honor and praise and the glory continually. Thank you for hearing and answering all of our prayers. In the name of your son, Yahushua HaMashiach, I pray. Amen. Yeah, man. This week, testify. It was a blessing this week, man. At the last Sunday, at the end of, in the evening time, I met up with a couple of my ministry brothers, had a very good, constructive conversation, man. And I appreciate the mindset of the brotherhood that the different sets of brothers that I'm with, man, because they're all open. Nobody is stagnant. Right. Nobody is clinging. Nobody clings to what they foreknew. You know what I'm saying? And it's very refreshing, honestly, because they themselves, the only reason why I contribute that they have released things or they've accepted changes because they themselves have searched out. And it's something that pushes a man to a point where he gets tired of it. He says, well, I want to know what is real and what ain't. And these brothers have met that point. Now, they still deal with family members and friends who may have not, but because of the place and where they're standing on, because they getting their sea legs standing upon the rock, standing upon the Most High, others may gain strength. And that's how I look at this thing, man. You know, it doesn't happen all at once. This, like we've said upon this show many times, this truth message, this message which requires change is not for everybody, because everybody's not going to be given that opportunity. And even still, because of what we've read, it is all still for the glory of the Most High, because when he reveals himself and truth has no choice but to be accepted because it's going to smack you in the face, then his mercy is still going to reign over his people who at large are still deluded and blind to who he really is and who they really are and what he's going to do. No matter how many of us, we ain't the first people to be sitting at a desk talking about this. We ain't going to be the last. But trust and believe, everywhere the Most High has placed his Kodeshim, which I know I am, and I know this brother is, which are his chosen, his elect, his set-apart ones. Everywhere he's put them, they got a role to play, and we playing it. It ain't easy, but you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want it to be easy. Now that I know in the word it says that the easy road and the wide gate leadeth to destruction, I don't want nothing easy. I want something difficult. And the title for today's program comes largely, I'm going to be straight up with y'all. I was scrolling through, I got a couple, inspirational post-type pages that I follow on Instagram, and this joint came up, and this quote was simple. It says, man, progress is love, but change is hated. And even though I read it and I kept scrolling, but it was like the words jumped out, and it was like imprinted on my mind for at least the next hour. I said, progress is love, change is hated. There's so many directions you can go with that thing. I think about myself and the progress we were making before we found it necessary to make a change. And we was pretty content. You know what I'm saying? We had a broad audience. We had a bunch of people wanting to come in and talk about, Jesus and Christianity and everything. It was cool. Wasn't nothing wrong with that at that time. Wasn't nothing wrong with that. But then when we were faced with the prospect and the truth in our faces to where we had to make change, I can't even say it was not comfortable. Not for me. I'll tell you that straight up.
And what wasn't comfortable?
The change, initially. It wasn't comfortable. I knew I had to make it just because of the way the Most High laid it on me. Like it felt like a gigantic, we said, this is the truth. Now I'm going to just put it right here. And you ain't going to be able to move it. You ain't going to be able to shift it. You ain't going to be able to get out from under it or around it or under it or over it. You're going to have to face it and make a decision. And because I believe I was at the point in my life where I could accept that, I could take it, because he wouldn't have given it to me at that time if I couldn't. gradually, slowly and surely, and when I say slowly and surely, within the span of a month, had to be. And in that span of a month, really, I did more researching because I wanted to see for myself. I wanted to check all corners, dot all I's, cross all T's, see what the word actually said, see what the Most High actually said. And then doing it with open eyes and open ears, that's what allowed the change to take place. But in the progress of things, how we've progressed from, not just you broadcasting, we was at E-Life, and then I forgot the second. What's the second spot? Vox Wave. That's right. We there, and then we came over here. Every single time we moved, man, it was like the progression and the increase of our knowledge and understanding was just going up and up and up. And I'm appreciative for the fact that we made the change. We still, on a daily basis, almost weekly basis. Weekly, should I say, almost daily. We still dealing with people who, they hate the change. They don't want to. They won't even recognize it, look or see it, man. And that's why that came, the way it did when I read that quote. Progress is love, but change is hated. But see, the thing is, when the change that is required is surrounding or revolving around truth, sooner or later, whether you accept it or not, you're going to have to change. You're going to have to. There ain't going to be no choice. So you either do it now or you do it later when it may be even more painful. And
Is it gonna be an actual change, or people gonna conform because they have no choice? So you change is to make your mind up that you're gonna do something different. You can act like you with something and not be with it. People do it all the time. Every Saturday and Sunday when they go to church, they faking like they something that they not, or that they may really be. You know what I'm saying? Niggas do it in the street too. But to change is to literally be different, not to just look different. To be different. You know what I'm saying? That's why when the Most High changed us, it's evident in how we talk about what we believe. Because anybody can talk. Talk is cheap. Everybody used to talk the same way. All pastors, to a certain extent, talk the same way. And some of them jokers don't even believe everything they be saying, but they got to say it to get their paycheck. You know what I'm saying? To get that tithe and offering or whatever. And change is hated. People love to see progress, though. You know what I'm saying? You start out in somebody's basement.
Yeah.
You're in a massive church building. You've progressed. And your situation changed. But what about the individuals? You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to change you.
that's what it's
We're going to be
supposed
changed in a moment in the twinkling of an eye. We were told that it's supposed to be some magical experience for all of a sudden you get this glistening white robe and wings spread out your back. I'm not going to say that's not going to happen or that's not in the forecast, but when you receive truth, it's just like that. When you receive truth in the twinkling of an eye, it was like, oh, that's not his name? Oh, that's not your name? Oh, this ain't proper? Done. Done.
Yeah.
That's change.
That's change.
In a moment. Once you said he put that truth on you, boom, like, wait, I'm listening to Scarface this week, right? The whole joint. I used to bag it all the time as a youth, but the wall, he talking about, man, it's hiding, he couldn't get over the top of the joint, he having problems walking around it. He said when he thought about it, didn't have to climb it. He should have broke that motherfucker down.
Yeah.
Now that BS that's been set up in front of us, the jokers think, oh, this religion thing is too big of an issue to get over around, and then they go through it. Literally, you're in it.
Yeah.
Push through it, and get what most I got for you on the other side, man. It's not complicated. You gotta want it though. Most of these people don't want it. They're comfortable. They're content. They're complacent. They're in their space, their safe zone.
Yeah.
And they don't want any disturbances or disruptions. They just feel like, you know what? This is what I was taught. This is what I believe. This is what's worked for me up to this point. I don't see a reason to change. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You can do that. Not mad at you, brother. Still love you. Gonna pray for you. But I'm cool.
I'm cool.
All right, deuces. You don't know there's a waterfall ahead. You want to stay on that boat. I'm getting off where the land at. You about to go overboard.
It's man, to be able to understand that everybody ain't gonna see it the way you do, and that was predetermined. That's what makes the whole thing like round out.
Yep.
I'm like, so it's no other choice than to look at it as a privilege, because it's not something that's detrimental to your spiritual walk. You know more than you did before. I was looking at that. Yeah, driving up here, man. They having that little air show. Their planes falling out the sky. That joint almost made me crash coming over this joint. I was like, what the? And then I saw the smoke coming out the back of the plane and where it was coming from. I'm sorry, y'all. It's Andrew Air Force Base doing that. But anyway, back to what we were saying. I still encourage those who are seeking to continue to see. Don't get discouraged. Whatever you do, don't get discouraged. Don't backtrack. And trust me on this. The enemy of all flesh, Hasatan himself, will do everything to get you to give up on this little. You can say treasure hunt because you're gonna find treasure at the end. But to be searching, to be looking for the truth, to find things out for yourself and verify them for yourself is something that it's gonna take some work. Shoot, if you pressed out and you want to know what it is, you're gonna find out, man. You certainly gonna find out. Still can't believe, the amount of parallels this joint has with The Matrix, man. Every time I think about it, I think about that, Joe. That movie depicted exactly what's happening right now, like perfectly.
Man, we was watching Pinocchio
Oh,
with Tom Hanks as Geppetto,
okay.
right? You know how they got that DreamWorks type, everything look real people with cartoons.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Pinocchio, little boy,
Yeah.
little wooden boy,
Uh-huh.
him and his conscience, Jiminy Cricket. Somehow they got jammed up, man. They got picked up by this sick-looking white man
Uh-huh.
with a cart full of kids, right, on their way to Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island.
So they didn't have to worry about, their consciences. They could do whatever they wanted to do.
Oh, man.
And, they was giving them root beer. But the thing about it is, I believe after they got a certain amount of that root beer in them,
Yeah.
they turned into donkeys.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was so
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
But it was a lot of,
Some jackass.
yeah, but it was a lot of imagery, you know what I'm saying? Some type of,
I mean, think about what you just said. We're going to Pleasure Island.
Island
But
with
we ain't got to
kids.
worry about it.
Kids.
Kids are
Adults
going.
were taking these kids to Pleasure Island.
Ooh.
He had a cart with about 30 little kids on it.
Hold up.
What are you doing with these children?
Hold up. Let's not let it fall upon us to forget the fact that he made a wanted image that he wanted to be alive.
Yeah, he wanted to be a son.
How did he become a boy? Because I forgot. Did he make a wish or something like that?
You wish upon a star.
Oh! Upon a what?
A star. Makes no difference who you are.
Oh,
Anything
my
your heart
goodness.
desires will come to you.
Oh.
That's Disney. That's that magic.
Oh.
That's the magic of Disney. Anything your heart desires will come. That's what the enemy told Yahushua. Anything you want, I can give to you. From all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. If you bow down and worship me. So they leave that part out of the song. Anything your heart desires will come to you if you bow down and worship me. They just make you think it's all about.
See, that's a revelation. Because that type of understanding regarding that entire storyline and plot, I ain't never thought of till just now.
All of them shows. And I
All
loved
of 'em.
all Disney.
Yeah.
I used to want to be a cartoonist for Disney, because I just loved,
They was the best.
man,
It was the best.
And it was just the captivating images, and it's easy, but it's not.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? But all of them joints got a vicious Little Mermaid,
Yeah.
Pinocchio, Dumbo, all them old school Disney joints. If you break it, if you look at it through spiritual lens,
Yeah.
you'll see the madness in it.
Yeah.
Man. And this is for kids. It's supposed to be for kids.
Yeah.
Programming the kids. This dude Mike Muse that be coming on Sway in the Morning, right? Political analyst dude. He talked about how with his children, he only lets them watch certain programming. He didn't say certain television shows.
Yeah, programming.
Consciously, he knows this is programming my children. He knows this, so he doesn't let them just look at anything. He lets them look at stuff that he knows is going to assist in the same type of programming he's doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For people to be conscious of stuff like that, stop leaving their phones and tablets and iPads to raising their kids and TV. You know what I'm saying? Talk at them and not to them. They don't teach them, they talk at them. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You'll see the difference in the children. Little kids who are sat down and taught as opposed to little kids that are talked at. You'll see the distinction in the children. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention, you'll see. But I mean, that was all of our problem. You know what I'm saying? The programming we received as kids, what had us thinking we was progressing. I remember the process, man. Where I grew up in the church, loved it. little kid, you know, you come to socialize with your friends and everything.
How could you not?
Then you get to an age where it's like, man, I don't feel like getting up. Well, this shit's boring. You know what I'm saying? Especially depending on what the pastor you had. Cause
He ain't talking to me.
I've been with some boring. Yeah, what are you talking about? That interests me at none at all. After Sabbath school or youth church or whatever, you just in there until your parents are ready to leave.
Yeah,
Or-
you talking to them.
He talking to them. He ain't talking to me. So then you get to the point where you're given the option to not go. Well, if you ain't going, well, with us it was if my mother was like, if you ain't ready when I leave, I'm leaving you. I'm not gonna be ready when you leave. Then I'm intentionally gonna take my time getting dressed and all of that. As soon as I hear that door close, I'm getting back in the bed. You know. But then it got to a point where it's like you looking for something, you missing something, you're almost lost in your thinking, especially on Saturdays.
Yeah,
You used
man.
to be at church. Now you're just sitting around. You don't want to go do what you normally do during the week because you know that's wrong. You're
Right.
not supposed to do that. Got back in the scriptures, you know, and then ended up feeling like I missed my mark because I'm supposed to be in church. But it's never was that we were supposed to be in church. It's that the Most High had a plan for us. We were supposed to be being used by Him. Ain't got nothing to do with being in church. But went back to church in my early 20s. Got kicked out.
Man, that's still wild.
having a kid.
That's still wild.
Not kicked out, but disfellowship.
I never
My
still.
name was removed from the roll
Yeah, still.
for open sin. This is for the church. A group of flipping deceivers,
Sinners. Group of sinners.
sinners, liars, unrealistic jokers kicked me out because I had a kid out of wedlock. Cool. All right, whatever. Then I said F him. I ain't say F. I'm like, I ain't say F the Most High.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Joe, all right, you with me, you with me. I don't need them.
Right.
And I went and did me. You know what I'm saying? For a minute, I thought I was gone. Like, man, you know what? I done went too far. I can't go back. He was like, you stop playing with me. Stop
The
playing.
thought of going too far though. That's that. We all reached that point, man.
Man, Yahweh set me down for 7 months
Come on.
in 2007. After I went through a year of madness in 2005, after my brothers went in and I didn't. I'm talking about madness, bro. My thoughts was gone. All I did was drink all day. All day, sitting around. I was a flipping 25-year-old wino, alcoholic, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ended up getting that ish together. Got with UPS through my cousin Marcus. And then the Most High was like, okay, I kind of got your attention, but let me get your full attention.
Right.
Set me down 6 months, 7 months. And I read the scripture. I read the Bible from cover to cover, skipping all the name books, you know, like Numbers and stuff like that, twice during that time. You know what I'm saying? In the hole for 45 days, all I had was my Bible. I'm reading. But I was reading through Christian eyes, through Adventist eyes.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing all the points that was made from the pulpit. I'm seeing all what Ellen G. White talked about. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this is what it is. This is what it's about. Came out on a different type of time. Still tripping a little bit. Had a conversation with Vanderhorst. Went to Metro, linked up with Pastor Johns. And I was like, you know, I'm seeing all the people my age that's still at church and doing in positions of like leadership, ministry, whatever. Remember, I could do this. But I'm me now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, this is what you're going to get. If you're going to interact with me, this is what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm me. I'm not going to conform to you. I'm me, but I'm in this. And the more I sat there and looked at that, I'm like, man, these niggas, they don't really believe what they talking about. I believe this. I remember saying that, what's his name? Alvin Kibble, or whatever that Kibble dude name
Yeah,
is.
I think it's Alvin. Yeah. There's a
When
bunch
the
of
Pope stepped down and Francis took, I said, so what's the move? He was like, what are you talking? He preached at I want to say he was at DuPont. I caught him at DuPont. He said he did something in the program, and then the whole rest of the sermon, he was upstairs on his iPad. Doing something on his iPad. Old man, what you know about that? You distracted. Technology got you distracted. You old Adventist soldier. You supposed to be right there with the you know, the order of service or whatever. But I asked him afterwards. I said, so what's the move? What's the church gonna do? You know what happened, right? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, a pope stepped down.
yeah.
That's never happened before. That's a lifelong office. Don't y'all know who these people are over there?
Yeah, come on, man.
But y'all professing this, then. I said, so what's the move? What's the game plan? What's the battle plan? I'm
Right.
trying to be involved.
Right.
Nigga ain't know what I was talking about. You bullshit. From the top all the way down, playing games. I told that pastor Friday, I said, man, What you don't know is that you're not in line with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones who need to be worried. You talking about change coming to America. Yeah, all right, there's going to be a change. Ain't going to have nothing to do with y'all church folk, though. You better open your eyes, pay attention. But yeah, that was about, you know, and after that, the rest is history. Most High took about, he let it go about 4 more years. And it was 14.
14.
You know what I'm saying? When I gave the Most High my ultimatum.
Yeah.
I need you to step up and show me what you want me to do. I'm
14.
gone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's when he sent this man.
In February of 14.
That's when he sent this man right here, Joe. And that's when we linked up.
That's when that dude. That's when the Most High. He put that joint in my. I was playing around with it. I was playing around with Adventism, with church and all that. I was 34. I had traveled. I had done what I was going to do. It still continued to plan to do what I was going to do. And Mercy, he came in like a whirlwind. He sat me down. I heard his voice clearly and distinctly. He had we didn't have a conversation. I listened and he spoke. And he put it on my heart to go back in and do service, do ministry. You start doing something. So I became a deacon at first, but then that's when I linked up with Frank. And his vision was to, you know what I'm saying, minister to these youth, man, because they wasn't in the church, and we understood it. But we understood why they didn't want to be in the church, because we was in their same shoes, because it was fake. It wasn't talking about nothing real. The stuff that you deal with when you were the age that you are, ain't nobody talking about that. They're talking about how to maintain the road design to all your grandparents and all those faithful that sit in the pews and got, they got imprints in the pew seats of where they sit. So when you ain't talking to them, it's like, well, what message do you have for them? And I was like, man, I ain't got a problem talking to nobody, no young person. They gonna hear me if I'm real. That's the first thing you gotta do. You gotta come bearing your own soul. You gotta relate to them. It's like, yo, I smoked, I drank, I fornicated, I did all that. Man, I did everything that y'all probably dreaming about doing, but ain't got the bread nor the resources or any other resources to do right now. So let me tell you what mistakes not to make. And through that's how the ministry began. And it proliferated. We started, speaking in front of audiences. You came out. We got a couple of other brothers and sisters added to the group. Had the whole program at RPC. That joint was that was a progress move. All the way, and I think about that leading all the way up until the Men of Honor joint, the progress. Everybody saw what we was doing. They read off our whole ledger, everything that we were doing. I ain't even know how they knew all that.
Brother, I was talking, man. That was an amazing film.
That was the most to hear it. To hear it.
Because we never looked for credit. We never looked for credit. Never even wanted the spotlight.
Never, Joe.
Preferred to stay out the way. We was about to leave.
We didn't even have no real church backing us. We came from a church, but they wasn't like,
We had no clue that people was looking at us like that.
Right. There you go.
We there. We in the back. We undocumented with security to a certain extent, but not, they ain't on the payroll. But Joe, I'm sitting there, I'm leaning over the rail, I'm looking at the amount of awards that are on that
on that table, right?
I'm looking at the people that's in the
they
crowd.
had 2 tables,
I'm
right?
like, oh yeah, so I didn't count the people up there, but there were people across from us on our side.
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, ain't no way in hell. One of them, I got my little pen.
It was like 50, 60 dudes, bro.
I had my pen.
Yeah.
I felt proud about my pen. I said, man of honor. I said, okay, that's right. Thank you, y'all.
Not only that, we was the last to enter the sanctuary. We was on the back pews in that upper section, meaning we came in last. We was either the second to the last or the third to last.
Left?
We was about
What did we left? What did we been outside? But they called our names. Somebody had to come outside and get us. Because we was like, man, this ain't got nothing to do with us. No more.
Hey, I thought of that. It's hilarious. Because they would have been quiet.
I was leaving.
We was both. Yeah, you was leaving.
I'm gone.
I was making an order for food to go pick up because I was hungry. Because we missed the little banquet meal that they had.
It was finger food.
Yeah, man. It was finger food, and I was still hungry. I was like, hey, yo, I ain't ate that all day. I gotta do something.
I was leaving. I was walking down there, and I heard from our Restoration Praise Center, Orlando Boyd, Bradley Trammell. And I'm like, Joe, this motherfucker just called our name. They talking about us?
No, he said your name first, and then he paused because when he held you, I was like, oh yeah, and then I thought that was just it. I didn't know they was gonna call me too, and they did it. I literally, if I'm not lying, I think I said, what the like in the church, like I ain't say it like too loud, everybody heard, but I was like, the fuck, I couldn't believe they did it, man. But understand what truly took place that evening. The Most High gives honor.
Mm-hmm.
It rang true to the scriptures. Do what you gonna do for the most. Do that in silence. Do that in the dark. So the Father, who sees what you do in the dark, will glorify you openly.
Openly.
And that's what he did. And we weren't even thinking like that. So to have that type of honor bestowed upon us from the Most High, not that organization, not the people who
Spirit of community.
who put the awards up on those shelves and stuff, not them, the Most High. Because he did that, how could we not commit even further to the change that was necessary, to the truth that was required to be spoken? How could we not? Ain't never gonna turn my back on the Father. He never turns his back on me. And he sure enough could have. I appreciate him for the change. And see, that's the real last hurdle with accepting change. Either you're going to have faith in yourself or faith in the Father. And if you don't know him, why would you have faith in him? Or if it's plastic and you just profess it, but there's nothing indelible, there's no testimony like behind it to like anchor you to him, when the change becomes difficult, why would you ever go through with it? It ain't going to happen. So, yeah, man, like I said, I praise the Most High for the change that he made. And I realize that as we see what is transpiring in this world today, to the close of this month, Jen sent me that information last week about, them brothers and them little Israeli Jewish people. They got the red heifers. They arrived in Israel. And then she sent me this one video of this Russian Jesus who...
They about to piss the Most High off to the point where he's ready to judge. He's already ready to judge.
He's already, man.
But he got to make sure their bed is fully made.
Oh.
Before he lay their punk asses down.
They got Philip the cup.
Bruh.
The cup is right there, almost at the edge. The last little drips.
Creator of everything. You about to do what? You think you about to start sacrificing? I don't even rock with you.
Yeah.
You think you about to start sacrificing? Okay, I got something for that.
Sacrificing red heifers to sanctify their own temple.
Their temple.
Which
made
the most,
by man's hands.
Yo, man.
He does not dwell in. He dwells in here. You better know him for yourself. Hey, I hope they do it. Please,
Oh, they
hurry
will.
up. I hope it's televised.
They will. I believe it will
I wanna
be.
watch 'em.
Al Jazeera or somebody,
Yeah.
BBC.
Yeah,
they
somebody
gonna
gonna be there.
They gonna show it.
I want to see it. I would love to see
But the reason why we're bringing all this up is because these events that are transpiring are happening rapidly, and when the Most High allows calamity to break forth, oh my goodness, to not be ready. And that's why I'm gonna just read this one chapter, man, because I turned over to it. It's Joel. Everybody got this book, and if you got a Bible, you have it. The book of Joel, chapter 2. I'm gonna read the whole chapter. But pay attention to what is being said and the urgency behind the words. That's a bet. Pay attention to the words.
Minor prophet.
Yeah,
What they
he's
call
a-
him, minor prophet.
they would call him that. Yeah.
So what's around it?
Amos. Well, this one got it's
Amos, Obadiah. That's
yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
this thing a little bit different order.
Amos. Where you at? Joel,
Yeah.
Micah.
It's 3 chapters. It's mad short, so you could flip past it.
Joel. You said Joel chapter 2?
Yeah. Yeah, it says, blow ye the shofar in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahuwah comes. For it is nigh at hand. That is very pertinent to today. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. There has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burns. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. He's talking about his people right here. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and his horsemen. So shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, and shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses, and shall enter in the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And Yahuwah shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great. For he is strong that executes his word. For the day of Yahuwah is great and very terrible. And who can abide it? Therefore also now, says Yahuwah, turn ye even to me with all your heart. Listen to this. Therefore also now, says Yahuwah, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto El Yahuwah, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repents of the evil. Who knows if he will return and repent, and leave a blessing behind him, even an oblation and a drink offering unto Yahuwah. Blow the shofar in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people, sanctify the assembly, assemble the elders, gather the children and those that suck the breasts. Let the bridegroom go forth from his chamber, and the bride out of her closet. Let the priests, the ministers of Yahuwah, weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare your people, O Yahuwah, and give not your heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their Elohim? Then will Yahuwah be jealous for his land, and pity his people. Yea, Yahuwah will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you again, and wine, and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith, and will no more make you a reproach among the heathen. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for Yahuwah will do great things. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree bears her fruit, the fig tree and the vine do yield their strength. And children of Zion rejoice and be glad in Yahuwah, because he gives us the righteous teaching, which descends on us like a teaching rain and a latter rain in the first of the year. And the floors shall be full of wheat, and the fat shall overflow with wine of oil. And I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten, and the cankerworm, and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army which I send among you. And ye shall eat in plenty, and be satisfied, and praise the name of Yahuwah, that has dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Yasharal, and that I am Yahuwah Elohim, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my Ruach upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my Ruach. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of Yahuwah come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahuwah, not the Lord, not God, whoever shall call on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as Yahuwah has said, and in the remnant Yahuwah shall call. Powerful word of warning. Powerful. The day. What's up?
I'm looking at this, and everything, but the majority of the stuff you just read, I don't see here.
Word?
Man.
Go ahead, read it.
What's your first 18 say?
Then will Yahuwah be jealous for his land and pity his people.
You got to reading how it would take up the cause of his land, pity him, okay, divide his people. I would distance the northern one from you. Yep, banish it. His foul odor will come. Okay, so I was with you all the way up to there. In my 21, fear not, O land, exalt and be glad, for Yahweh has done great kindness. Fear not animals of the field, for the dwelling of the wilderness have become covered with grass.
Mm-hmm.
Trees born its fruit, fig tree and the vine have given forth their wealth. Children of Zion, exalt and be glad with Yahweh Elohim, for he has given you a teacher for righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
And he has brought down the rain for you, the early rain and the late rain in the first month. The granaries will be
Mhm.
with wine and oil. I'll repay you for the years that the abundant locust, the chewing locust, and the demolishing locust, and the cutting locust, my great army that I sent among you, consumed. And you will eat, eating and being satisfied, and you will praise the name of Yahweh Elohim, who has acted wondrously with you, and my people will not be ashamed evermore. Then you will know that in the midst of Israel am I, and that I am Yahweh Elohim. There is none other, and my people will not be ashamed evermore.
Mhm.
That's yours ends?
No, it keeps going after that.
It stops there. That's what I said. Everything you was reading, I'm looking for it. I'm like, where's it say?
Hold up. With the joint says, I'll pour out my ruach on all flesh, that ain't in there?
Chapter 3 starts, and it will happen after this that I will pour out my spirit. Oh, so mine goes into chapter 3.
Yeah. Your 3 starts earlier than mine.
Okay, that's why I was lost then. All right.
Yeah, your 3. I was like,
I'm looking, I'm like,
yeah, number.
I don't see all that. Sir.
It's not uncommon that words be that the chapters numbers be off. We be facing that with all the
But I was
apocryphal
tripping.
books, right?
I was like, man, what does he read?
Oh, but you know the Jones. I'm gonna pour out my
I'm looking
ruach,
for it, though.
right? Yeah,
Like, why is it not? I know it's in the I
It's
know
in there.
It's highlighted in my other Bible.
yeah.
I'm looking at this. I'm like,
Oh, we better not lose that verse. I'll pour out my ruach on all flesh. That's the joke right there. Talking about we gonna see visions. The young, I don't know if I'm in the midst of the old men seeing dreams and the young men seeing visions. I don't know, but I just want to see something like for real.
pour out my spirit upon all flesh. The sons and daughters will
Man,
prophesy. The elders
what is old? What is old in the sight of the Most High? Like, what is old to him? So we sit there talking about like 80 or 90 would be old to us. That'd be old. But I mean, old to him. I mean, shoot, you probably still young and you lived from the beginning. If it was the Most High, you asking. Right. Right.
See, this doesn't say old. This says elders.
Elders.
I think elder age in that culture was like 40, 41, 42. So
Definitely
that would
50.
be us.
Definitely 50, man.
We would fall in the elders category right now.
I want to give a word of encouragement to all those who fall into that category, who have the mind, the same type of mind that we do. If you are facing any of them difficulties, just know for a surety that when this calamity that we know surely is about to come to pass, when it happens, you are going to be set as a beacon and as a guiding light for those who had no idea it was coming. So when people start asking questions, why, how, when, then they're going to be given, I'm hoping, because the Most High is merciful, man, especially amongst his people, Yasharal. I'm hoping that he gives them ears to hear at that time. Because his name has to be glorified. That's the only way we're getting up out of here.
What is your, I don't know what verse this would be. It says anyone who calls on what?
Anyone calls on the name?
Anyone that calls what? This is on the name?
Hold on. And it shall come to pass that whoever shall call on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered.
It says, and it will come. It will be that anyone who calls in the name of Yahweh will escape.
In the name.
In the name.
In the name, on the name. Ooh, in the name and on the name should be, because if you in the name, that means you believe it. If I'm in the name of you, that means the Spirit is in me calling on that name. Because that's what communicates with the Father anyway. When I'm talking to him, I don't know what I'm saying, but the Spirit that he put in me is communicating with his Ruach, translating what I can't even mention in utterances, because that's what the word tell me. So if I'm calling in the name, I believe that they'd be synonymous. Because if you call on Yahuwah and you ain't got him in you, then you just
I
doing
understand
lips.
that point. But
Yeah,
it reads different.
that does.
I wouldn't make the two the same. I'm looking at it now because I mean, to call on something, you're calling it. You're just calling out. You know, I mean, because that would be anybody who calls out can be saved. But is that really what he's saying? You got to be in it. You know, what I'm
You gotta believe that name,
saying? Man.
or else you're gonna be taking it in vain.
There's a lot of people that believe in God.
Right.
They believe in Jesus, and they think that's what that's talking about. You can't call to the Most High in the name of Jesus. You can call on His name though. You do it all the time.
This is another big point. That it's something that Christianity gets drastically wrong, and it's probably one of the most subtle things. Is they teach such a reliance on the name of Jesus, and not just that, but just the name of the Son, the one who sacrificed. But you got to understand that even in the Gospels that we have, he constantly said that everything he said, spoke, and did, he got from the Father. So when he completed his mission, he did it on behalf of the Father. And since he restored the breach that Adam broke by sin, now we have communication to the Father. So who should we be calling on? The Father. When we get up there, we're going to thank the Son for all that he did, because without him doing it, we couldn't call on the Father. But it's not about calling on the name of the Son. It's about calling on the Father through the name of the Son, because that's what his purpose was.
No man coming unto the Father.
But I mean, come on, he's littered with them joints.
You can't get to him.
Yeah.
Without coming through me.
When he
You
prayed
can't get
that,
to the truth without coming through me.
Come
They
on,
always
fam.
had churches. You know what I'm saying? They had synagogues. They had scribes, Pharisees, lying to the people, making up a bunch of extra unnecessary laws. But if you want the truth, there's only one way you're gonna get it. That's through me.
that's it.
And that ain't through the Gospels. They watered that down and put some BS in there. Through the Son, who is Hamashiach Yahushua, the Hebrew. Yeah, he ain't that fair-skinned,
No, he's not.
straight-haired, blue-eyed homosexual that Christianity loves so deeply.
It's his image, man. He pushed that joint, fam. He said what? I am the way, the truth, and the light. That's pretty simple right there.
You're not gonna
No
get
one cometh by the Father but by. That's what he said right before he said that line. He
it.
is
They
the
always hated. They always hated whoever came with the truth. They got so mad at that man they wanted to kill him. They
so
did kill him.
mad, man.
But the word was a part of the Most High's plan. All the prophets. They wanted to kill the prophets because the prophets were given a job to take what the Most High had to say to his people.
Yeah.
Hey, man, like, all I'm doing is don't kill the messenger. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh,
You
and
mad
they
at
did
somebody.
that.
And they did.
Yeah, they did.
That's what he did. That's what he took me to in Jeremiah. But I'm gonna let this marinate.
He said, I'm gonna require their blood at your hands, fam. That's hard. That's hard. That's so. And that's why I don't find it discouraging when people don't listen, because I'm in good company. They ain't listened to the brothers in the past. I'm not the first person to tell the truth.
Nah, man.
Not nearly. We have record of those that did, and they were treated much horribly than we were.
Man, I'm wondering what's taking so long for the treatment to kick in.
Oh man,
I don't think it can though. I really don't. And I'm not trying
that's
to.
the Most High, right?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all has things set the way he has it set for a reason. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And whenever it do come to it, if it come to it, then you know we say you're gonna fall on the sword and not even be injured.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Jokers are coming up with them pistols, they're gonna fall out of their hand and turn to dirt.
Bro, I was reading the martyrdom of Isaiah yesterday. Said he died by being cut in twain with a wooden saw. He was cut in half by Manasseh, the wicked son of Hezekiah, who he came to Hezekiah and said, Hezekiah gonna lead all y'all in the sin and in the whoredom and in the iniquities. Hezekiah was so upset at that news, he tried to kill his own son, Manasseh. And Isaiah said, you can't do it because the Most High is not gonna permit it. This is the way it's going to be because the Most High. So don't worry. He's going to gather y'all back, but he's going to allow the nation to descend into demoralization through your son. Because Hezekiah was like, man, this can't happen. Right. You know who I am. I done seen Sennacherib come through and have one angel knock all his people. I'm not going to let my son ruin this for everybody. Isaiah was like, don't even worry about it. But when Hezekiah died and Manasseh got in his mind, I need to take out Isaiah because he's going to just be preaching the Most High's word, and I don't want to hear all that. They said they was going to cut him in half with a wooden sword. And at least 100 false prophets was looking on, laughing, cheering, and jeering at him while he was being cut. But they said while he was being cut, he never hollered, nor did he say a word about his pain because he was caught up in vision.
It's like Stephen.
It's just and said he never made a noise of like he was being. I was like, you being cut in half by a wooden sword. What? Yo, when I read that, I was like, yo, I ain't never even seen a wooden sword. I mean, a saw. That's what I meant. Wooden saw, not sword. They cut him in half with a wooden saw. Saw. How you know you can make wood, sharp. You can do it. Whittle that joint down.
Saul's got them serrated.
Yes, though, and you getting splintered.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. The
So you getting splintered. And he ain't cut in half and just like sitting there like, and the word of the Most High says, woe be, like, he's just giving it to him. And I'm like, yo, to be with the Most. That's why you shouldn't have no fear, no death, no pain, no nothing like that. The Most High can stop that. He can stop that. Just like what O just said, the brother Stephen. Stephen was getting stoned, and he looked straight up. He had a bunch of rowdy bammers around him with rocks, and he was looking up, and he saw the Savior, giving him the nod, like, yep, you my man. And he said, oh, give me that, did that large star right there?
Right before they started hitting him with rocks.
Yeah.
He told the truth. The truth will get you beat up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or at least get you attempted to be beat up.
Derision at the least.
It's
People gonna talk about you.
Man, people don't like that. They don't like that change.
It's all good, fam.
They don't like that change, man.
Change is coming. And that's the change. He's oh, I can't wait. We anticipated. All praises.
I ain't got revelation here. Man, if you look at the daggone chapter, literally, where the Most High destroys that beast and the merchants of the world are sitting around.
When they crying, yeah,
clueless.
everybody else. Yeah.
They don't know what to do with themselves now.
Yeah.
I mean, once he destroys that entity, there's still going to be people here. You know, that's what I've tried to get people to wrap their mind around the literalness of these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be revamped. Somebody's going to have to become the head and not the tail. And that's what he got his people set aside.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's
We ain't got
not
nothing to
gonna
worry
be no
about.
magic kingdom type experience.
No, it won't.
It's going to be very real.
Mm-hmm.
That rock cut out with our hands, man, and maybe that Eros joint, that asteroid that's keep playing with Earth.
Hey, bro, I just want to go in the desert and see that joint turn into an oasis before my eyes, bro. That's all I want to see. Because the Most High, underneath all that sand, the Most High got an oasis, bro. He covered it up because his people ain't over there right now. All that, what's the name of that desert? They're just the biggest desert on the planet. Sahara, that's right. See that joint from space. It just looked like somebody just took their finger and just like smeared a bunch of brown on the map.
What is that desert? What is that desert gonna be after he set the joke on fire?
Oh man, glass. I knew that's what you was gonna say. So when you heat sand, that's what happens, man.
The glass, boy. That sea of glass is gonna be real.
Man.
The water has been evaporated with the fire. Now we got glass to walk on, Slim. Bruh.
Hey, look. Ain't nobody down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Most High can make the elements do what they ain't supposed to do. So I mean, yeah,
you heat sand.
yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of sand. We got deserts over here. There's gonna be glass all over everywhere. The whole seabed is sand.
True.
You remove the water.
I also think Behemoth is under that thing, but that's me.
That's what the scriptures say.
Yeah, yeah.
Most I know where he got what at.
Behemoth and Leviathan.
I don't want to interact with either one of them.
One of them is gonna be for food.
Well, not either.
Leviathan gonna be a couple of Leviathan steaks ain't gonna be too bad.
I don't want kind of slow in the water though. I want to see him in his natural element.
Yeah, I always know nobody does, dog. That'd be too great. Yeah.
That joint, this big, what they call it? I can't remember what they was calling the joint.
I know what you're talking about, like in the water. Yeah, I remember that part of the
It was
story.
like an island. It was so big you'd think it was an island. But the movie, see, I remember the book vaguely.
Uh-huh.
You know, Disney joint, the original. But this joint right here,
Yeah.
man, that's just sick. I'm just looking at these perverted white people playing with these kids.
And everybody was going crazy this week about Little Mermaid being black, which, I mean, I knew that was going to happen before that because I knew when they cast that girl. But the uproar, I'm looking at the uproar about it and the argument. And I'm just thinking, I was like, how shallow of an argument is this in the first place? This is all fiction.
When I saw it on Facebook, it said Christians against the Little Mermaid. There's a group of Christians
That's just
who
stupid.
don't agree with the Little Mermaid being made black, but y'all jokers
Come on,
believe
fam.
in a white Jesus
Come on, fam.
who was based on the true story of a man of color whose name was Yahushua. Now, if they called her little Tarika or something like that, little Shawanda, you know what I'm saying? They probably wouldn't have no problem with that. But she can't be the Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid's white. And there's no. Me just said somebody said something, man. They was like, well, maybe it was you. There's no sun. How could she be black and there's no the sun
Oh,
doesn't
man.
the sun doesn't get down there?
The response from one Twitter user was like, y'all done thrown so many Africans in the ocean. How are y'all surprised that the Little Mermaid ain't black? I mean, it's black. But you see how they linked that? That's accurate history.
But your argument is that the sun
yeah.
doesn't get that deep in the water. So how could she be black? There's no sun there to give her. But y'all are up here and you're white.
Ooh.
Come on, man. That sounds so stupid.
I mean, the sun is everywhere up here. And y'all white. I mean, come on. Yeah, man. It's
Now, if
like
you're saying
real
you
talk.
all originated from the depths of the abyss,
Right.
I give you that. You know, if that's where you say y'all pale faces come from. But I don't have a dog in the fight.
I don't either. That's exactly right. I'm on the sidelines laughing.
It just makes no sense. It's so
Yeah.
ignorant.
But-
But as a Christian organization, that has a problem.
It's
A black Little Mermaid.
that movie is still going to push a couple things. It's still going to push interracial because little Prince she married, that Bama, he remained white.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that dude that she fall in love with, she can get her legs to walk. He white. He lily white. Yeah, him. So you gonna push that, and then you know you pushing witchcraft
So
because with
Daddy- is
Ursula,
Daddy black?
I don't know. I
Trey
don't
black?
know. I don't know. He might be. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out to be adopted.
I don't know.
She black with a daddy white.
Yeah, they might. We can find out. You can find out who's cast as the junk. I just don't know. But you gonna get witchcraft from the junk. You know, you gonna have Ursula floating around doing what she do. I used to watch all them jokes too, fam.
I loved all of it.
They'll at least be a distraction for you to get your mind off of whatever you're dealing with at the time when you a kid. You go in the house and watch this. My joint was Peter flipping Pan, bro. Because I wanted to go to Never Never Land and run like a pirate, dog.
For some reason, I never.
Peter Pan was it. Dog, you take a boat and say we real talking right now. You take a boat out in space and come to this planet that's just hanging in the air. And it's where all youth can run around, do whatever they want to do. That's Never Never Land. And Captain Hook is portrayed as the one who wants to put a stop to this. He's like, y'all can't be running. He wants to give him some discipline. And he's the villain. That's what Captain Hook is. Oh, man. They done made so many adaptations of that thing. I was like, oh, this is dope. And one of the Lost Boys was black. It was the first time I had seen on, animated joint. One of them Lost Boys was black. Of course, he ain't had no speaking lines. He was just in the back with his little hat. But I was like, oh, this little black boy in Never Never Land. It's funny, man.
I'm gonna jump into this Jeremiah.
Go ahead, read that joke.
Jeremiah 26. Jeremiah 26, and you see how petty these jokers is, and the Most High say what he wants to say to his people in the beginning. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, this word came from Yahweh, saying, "Thus said Yahweh, stand in the courtyard of the temple. Stand in the courtyard of the temple of Yahweh and speak to all the cities of Judah who come to prostrate themselves in the temple of Yahweh, and all the words, all the cities of Judah who come to prostrate themselves in the temple of Yahweh, all the words, speak to all the cities of Judah who come to prostrate themselves in the temple of Yahweh, all the words that I shall command you to speak to them. Do not omit a word. Perhaps they will listen and repent, each man from his evil way. Then I will relent of the evil that I am planning to do to them because of the wickedness of their deeds." Then he tells them what to say. Even though he knew what he was planning on doing was going to have to come to pass,
Yeah.
he said, perhaps they will listen. He repented himself a couple times.
Yeah.
There's always a way. Who was it that convinced him when the clock went back? Was it for heaven?
That's a guy. Mm-hmm.
So he can alter his plan
Yeah, you can.
depending on how he's asked or what comes with it. He said, if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray, it's a give and take thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, say to them, "Thus say Yahweh, if you do not listen to me, to follow my Torah that I will have placed before you, to listen to the words of my servants, the prophets, whom I send to you, sending them from early morning, but you do not listen. So I shall make this temple like Shiloh, and I will make this city the epitome of a curse for all the nations of the land. The priests and false prophets, and all the priests and the false prophets, and all the people heard Jeremiah speaking these words in the temple of Yahweh. It happened that as Jeremiah finished speaking everything that Yahweh had commanded him to speak to all the people, the priests and the prophets and all the people seized him, saying, "You shall die. Why have you prophesied in the name of Yahweh, saying this temple will be like Shiloh, and this city will be destroyed without an inhabitant?" And all the people congregated around Jeremiah in the temple of Yahweh. The ministers of Judah heard these things. They went up from the king's palace to the temple of Yahweh, and they sat at the entrance of the new gate of the temple of Yahweh. The priests and the prophets said to the officers and all the people, saying, "A death judgment shall be upon this man, for he has prophesied against this city, as you have heard with your own ears." Jeremiah said to all the ministers and all the people, saying, "Yahweh has sent me to prophesy about this temple and about this city, all the things that you have heard. So now correct your ways and your deeds, and heed the voice of Yahweh, your Elohim, and Yahweh will relent of the evil that he has spoken about you. So for me, here I am in your hand. Do to me whatever is right and proper in your eyes. But you must surely know that if you put me to death, you will be putting innocent blood upon yourselves and upon the city and upon all its inhabitants. For in truth, Yahweh sent me. For in truth, Yahweh sent me to you to speak all these things in your ears. The ministers and all the people then said to the priests and the prophets, this man does not deserve death judgment. This man does not deserve death judgment. For he has spoken to us in the name of Yahweh Elohim.
wow.
The ministers and all the people then said to the priests and the prophet. The priests and the prophets wanted to kill him,
Yeah.
but he had some ministers.
Yeah.
So there's clearly a distinction between a minister, a priest, and a prophet,
Yeah.
and the people.
Yeah. And the
People just follow. They don't,
Yeah,
oh, you get rowdy, this man, you know, get
Sheep.
the mob. You know what I'm saying? But, and I never noticed that. Then the ministers and all the people then said to the priests and the prophets, this man does not deserve death. He does not deserve death judgment, for he has spoken to us in the name of Yahweh Elohim. Then some of the elders of the land arose and said to the entire congregation of the people, Micah and Micah the Morishite, Micah the Morishite used to prophesy in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah, and he said to all the people of Judah, thus said Yahweh, master of legions, Zion will be plowed over like a field, Jerusalem will become ruins, and the Temple Mount will become like heaps of rubble in the forest. Did Hezekiah, king of Judah, and all of Judah put him to death? Behold, he feared Yahweh and supplicated before him, and Yahweh relented of the evil that he had spoken concerning them. So we would be bringing great evil upon ourselves if we would kill Jeremiah. Now there was another man who prophesied in the name of Yahweh, Uriah, son of Shemaiah of Kirath Jearim. He prophesied concerning the city and concerning the land, this land exactly like all the words of Jeremiah. When King Jehoiakim and all his soldiers and all the officers heard his words, the king attempted to have him killed. Uriah heard and became afraid and fled, going to Egypt. King Jehoiakim sent men to Egypt. He sent Elnathan, son of Achbor, and some men with him to Egypt. They removed Uriah from Egypt and brought him to King Jehoiakim, who struck him down by the sword and threw his body into the graves of the common people. However, the power of Ahikam, son of Shaphan, was with Jeremiah, not to deliver him into the hand of the people to kill him.
Uriah got hit, but Jeremiah wasn't allowed to be.
He wasn't allowed to. But at this point, see, this was before the Most High acted out what he said he was going to do to the people. You know, It happened to our ancestors during that slavery. I mean, a lot happened to them over there too. But the brunt of that punishment, that curse, came through African Americans being enslaved in this country.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at this point, to be a minister, a prophet, priest, whatever the case may be, there's no more going to the people trying to get them to not go down a certain road. It's more so like, this is what Yahweh said. He's already done that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to relent himself from this point. It's turned to him now. That's all you can do. What's done is done. He said, now look to me. Fear Elohim and fear the one who sits on the throne, the one who made heaven and earth. Bump the stories. To hell with whatever you've been taught, whatever you think these are stories in these books, but it's an actual account of people's existence and their lives. And the source of that information, it's not this mystical, magical. It's the Most High Yah. He is who he is, and it's not going to end good.
Nope.
When that system get destroyed, talking to that past, I'm like, I said what a lot of Adventists don't understand. I didn't group all. I could have grouped all churches in there, but what a lot of them don't understand is that the template that they go by is Catholic. Well, what you mean? I said, well, the Catholics got christenings and the Eucharist. Y'all got baptisms and communion. There's no difference. You know what I'm saying? Different terminology. I said, the difference you think y'all different because y'all go to church on Saturday, they go to church on Sunday.
That's it.
There's no distinction except you got your ordinances of whatever your 28 fundamental beliefs. All of these little churches, whether you call yourself non-denominational, whether you call yourself whatever, you're subsidiaries of the Roman Catholic Church, whether you know it or not. If you're a 501c3, the government runs you. So when they send laws down, they got the Council of 300, you know what I'm saying, or whatever that is. All these heads of these different denominational churches or whatever, they subject to the Pope. People don't know that. Maybe don't care to know it. You know what I'm saying? You're under whoever the leader is of your church, whatever. But when Francis says something, these churches listen. They listen. And if the pastors and the individual churches ain't listening, the heads of those denominations are paying attention. Ted Wilson is hip to whatever's going on over there in Rome.
Believe that.
You know what I'm saying? He met him. He received that little token or whatever. He said, ain't nothing coming down the pike. They done switched up the Great Controversy to the Great Hope or something like that. Or what was it, Steps to Christ? Whatever it was. I don't know. One of them books talked about who the Pope is the Antichrist, who the Roman Catholic Church is.
They changed that out?
They took all that out. They don't speak in opposition to Rome no more. They don't speak in opposition to Rome no more. All y'all good Seventh-day Adventist Christians who grew up on Revelation seminars like I did, and I know this stuff to be true, your church ain't doing nothing about it. And that's the ship you want to stay on. You're stupid. I said it. Yep. Dumb. Yep. And that goes for whoever's still in it. I ain't no respected person just like the Most High. Mama, daddy, auntie, uncle, cousin, whoever you is. Better get out. Pay attention to what Jordan Peele said. Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Yeah, they gonna be like,
Or you
nope.
in the sunken place. Nope.
They gonna be like, nope.
Don't get caught in the sunken place. That place is real. I've been there. I've been there, trapped in my own head. Had no clue. Getting whooped by demons. Now they only hit me when I hit a J. I'm so happy. I know.
Yeah,
They can't really mess with me.
But
But as soon as I tap something, I'm like, man,
here they go.
they get the popping jabs, reminding me of stuff. They don't entice me no more. They just remind me of stuff. Yeah, you knew what you did. Yeah, you was
It
wrong.
don't work.
It
That
get me
ain't going.
sometimes. It get me.
It may put you in a bad space for a second, but this is all it's
Talk
really
to the
gonna do
Most
is that's it.
Make you have to talk to the Father.
That's it.
Go to Daddy. Run to Daddy for
And then they shut up.
some help. Then they can't have no choice. When he silences them,
They tremble. So they tremble in fear at the mention of his name. They tremble in fear at the mention of his name.
boy, man, don't we only able to apply this truth the way it was intended. You know, a lot of people wouldn't be in the mental spaces that they're in, man.
True.
But I agree 100%. Progress is loved. Change is hated. People don't like to see change. It's hard. It's scary. You know. But as much as we change anyway, I mean, you're born babies. You grow into old people. There's a lot of change involved with life. But you don't think the Most High, who changes not, doesn't still want the same thing for his people that he wanted for them back then? He just wants us to seek him, to look to him, keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Which, at this point, I mean, matter of fact, he says in Ezekiel, he said in Ezekiel, man, he's like, basically, do you. Just don't pollute my name no more. Just don't pollute, man. Go do whatever.
Yeah.
Just don't pollute my name no more. And that was back in Ezekiel's time.
Yeah.
That was before the ultimate pollution that even got put on his name.
Cease with the smoke offerings, the drink offerings,
I
the
need none of
sacrifices. Just stop.
Stop polluting my name, man. Yep. Most High Yahweh, thank you for this opportunity again to break bread with you. Thank you for allowing your Ruach to be present in the studio with us. We with the prayer requests that went up in the beginning of the program. Ken's mother, you know her. I don't. You know her. You know him. He said it's in your hands. I don't know what you would do in this situation. I guess my prayer is more so for Ken and dealing with whatever's going on with his mother. Give him the strength to deal with whatever your decision is ultimately for her life, as well as my Aunt B. I don't know the ins and outs of all of her medical issues, but, you know, if it be fitting, I'll ask that you touch her body, heal her, bring her home. Continue to be with Juice's family,
be with Jen and her household and Ruth and her household, their children, whatever they may be going through in their individual lives.
Yeah.
We were Maxine as well, Mishi, his household, Ian, his household, Brad, his household, Brandon, his household, our parents. It's crunch time. I pray for that pastor who you allowed me the opportunity to have an interaction with. Forgive me if I was wrong, but I ask that you open his ears. He said he likes to talk to different people and get different insights. Hopefully that's not for the purpose of figuring out how to weed Adventism in there on the back end, but he seems genuine enough. I mean, open his eyes if it's your will. But those who are seeking truth, continue to be with them, strengthen them, encourage them. We all need financial blessings. We all need emotional support. We all need physical strengthening. I'm asking that you take care of all of that. Forgive us for our many, many iniquities. Be with my children. Protect them as they move about. My daughter's looking for a new gig, another job. I pray and ask that you open up some type of door so that she can be trained for a career type position and be paid for that as well. In the process, perhaps something remote, if possible, would be more convenient for her. My son, hold him down with what he's doing, what he got going on in his life. Nieces and nephews, y'all. Those high people going through a lot of stuff. I don't want to put too much people's business out there, but what's been told to me, and those individuals who are going through what they talk to me about. Help them in whatever capacity you see fit. Be with this studio, be with Marcus, bless him and his endeavors here. Thank you for Angela and how she supported us with her presence. And I'm gonna ask again, y'all, and this goes for any and everybody who would stand in opposition to truth or in opposition to you, destroy it with extreme prejudice, regardless what it is. Continue to judge these nations and bring about that change, because we're waiting for it. In Yahweh Shai's name, amen.
Amen. It's been Real Talk 101, The Devil Exposed, on a Sunday afternoon. Until the next time we meet, may Yah bless and keep you.
Say truth, and not the traditions of men.
As servants of the Most High, we must eagerly plant the seed. Understand we do not possess the power to make the seed grow, only the Father. The key being missed is the art of playing your position. Trust Yah to do what he said he will do. He will get the increase. He gets the credit. The Most High showed me the end result before I knew the path. And when I asked, he just said, follow me.
You see, cause push is what the doctor told mommy when she was birthing me. We push it, make it through tribulations and life adversities. A pusher is a term for a person selling narcotics. A pushover is what church is now cause of lack of knowledge. Information must be factual, literal, therefore actual. Be leery of the ones taking lies and making them practical. We have to pull the skirt up on shepherds who out in line. If we don't, then there's a chance that we may all end up in frying. Gotta push to the limit, let's get it. If you a soldier, gotta love for the truth, and my passion just makes me bolder. Got a crew rolling with me, we sticky, yeah, how a shot of glue. We holding us together through him, there's nothing that we can't do. It's time, ask the question, who blessing me, where my help come from? Yeah, how I do it all through his work. Yeah, how a shot, son, let's get it. If you with it, go grab it so you can have it. Time for playing games, there's up tricks off for kids, you silly rabbit.
I pledge allegiance to the Most High, who is the Alpha and Omega. And through the blood of Yahweh Shai, his son that died for me, I am reconciled to my Father in heaven. Under Yah, whose mercy is everlasting. One truth, if accepted, will bring salvation to all.
We gotta push to get truth from the people pushing us lies. Speaking of lies, you know the devil, he always come in disguise. A fancy suit, a nice physique, some money and pretty out, but he's a fire-breathing dragon who's helping on telling lies. In Revelations, there's this beast and he giving this soul a rise. She's dressed in purple and in scarlet, yeah, that be that whole disguise. It's all it represent the church or authority, telling lies. That be she riding on his roam. You better open up your eyes to water, Bahashim, yeah, I was shy. I thank you for this blessing. Time to wake up from the sleep so we can teach that whole lesson. progressing less and less. I feel traditional. The most I rock was spiritual. His ruach's here to help download this truth just like it's digital. We miserable and shattered. Been that way since we've been scattered. Now y'all waking up as people. Check this out. There's none equal. Most I knew what he was doing when he sent this strong delusion. Fall in love with seeking truth and he'll confirm this next conclusion. Strong
A
delusion.
physically powerful, morally vigorous, deeply rooted, false idea or theory, held persistently and abnormally, accepted as truth, especially by faith or authority rather than from personal knowledge, but is in fact a falsehood.
We gotta push the man is damaged, implanted by the satanic papal power. Yeah, that hoe giving gifts out just like she's Santa. Satan switch the N around and see just what I'm saying. And they gifts be wrapped in lies designed to spread their propagation. No more waiting, time to get up, get out. Wake up the nation, need a phrase from Yashar al-Arazo. Israel awaken, deacon sleeping, elder snoozing. The congregation be losing. Pastor serving wine from Babylon, got everybody moving. Think you know it, cause you older and done been in for a minute. Lack of knowledge while we perishing, no need to be offended. See, the truth is not rhetorical, it's timely in the season. When it's fitting proper format, there's no room left for deceiving or misleading. Which result when ones insert their own opinion. Just like Adam when he tripped out and gave Hashatan dominion. We've been subject to the lie, but know this truth, it will prevail. I'm a love watching the devil and his whole crew burn in hell. Push.